My dad doesn't know that I heard him tell another kid that he wished he was his son, so I gave him what he asked for and now I treat him like a stranger. So my dad, 45M, is really into cars, and his dad is also into cars. My grandpa used to work in a mechanic shop, and my dad learned to work on cars with him. They can talk for hours about different car models and engines and tell stories about cars they've worked on. I, 17M, am not really into them. My dad tried to get me into fixing up cars with him, but it just doesn't click with me. I know basic stuff like how to change a tire or oil and how to jumpstart a battery because he taught me, and I'm glad for it. But talking about cars and working on them for fun? I'm just not into it. I always thought my dad was okay with me not being a car guy. 5 months ago, we got these new neighbors who moved next door. It's a married couple, and their nephew Mason, 16M, lives with them. Mason and I go to school together. At first, I helped show him around school until he got comfortable and made his own friends. He and I still talk, but we don't hang out. Mason is like my dad and grandpa. He's obsessed with talking about cars and has a whole list of cars he wants to drive and own one day. He would come over with his aunt and uncle, and a lot of times, Mason and his uncle would hang out with my dad in the garage. Sometimes I'd be there too, but usually, it's just them. My dad usually works on his project car in the garage every other weekend for a couple of hours. For Father's Day this year, he said he wanted to be able to work on his car all day uninterrupted, which my mom agreed to. Whenever he works on his car, he leaves the garage door open. Mason has been coming by when my dad works on it for the past couple of months, and he talks to my dad and sometimes helps him out with smaller stuff related to the car. I don't really care. My dad does other stuff with me. But on Sunday, I went to ask him something when he was in the garage with Mason. The door from the house to the garage was open, and they were talking. I was waiting by the door for a chance to speak because I didn't want to interrupt their conversation. My dad was praising Mason for whatever he did. Mason said he had done that with his dad, and my dad told Mason his dad would be proud of him. Then he said Mason is the kind of son that he wanted to have. I don't know why, but that really hurt to hear. I never thought that me not being into cars was an issue for my dad. I knew he still loved me, but I guess it's not enough. I didn't say anything and just went back to my room. He doesn't know that I know what he said. I've been ignoring him since then. I still answer him when he asks me questions or tells me to do something, but I just don't want to talk to him anymore. He and my mom have asked me if something is wrong, but I lie and say no. I thought they would just let it go, but a few days ago, I messed up and told my older sister, 19F, what happened because she kept asking, and now she's not talking to my dad either, and she's being a lot meaner to him about it. But I made her promise not to tell anyone the reason, so she's keeping her word. It's really tense in our house right now. My parents keep asking us why we're mad at our dad, but neither of us are answering, and I feel like maybe I should just let it go and go back to the way things were. I really don't want to, though, when my dad is disappointed in who I am. Am I wrong if I don't forgive my dad? Update 1. So I guess my post was put up on TikTok, and my inbox was flooded with a bunch of new comments and DMs. There are too many to read, but I appreciate everyone telling me that I'm not wrong for not wanting to forgive my dad because it still hurts knowing he said that regardless of why he said it. I got a lot of questions, but I'll answer 2 important ones. My dad did ask to be left alone to work on his car, but it's not because he didn't want to spend Father's Day with us. We had a special breakfast for him, and we gave him his gifts in the morning. The incident happened in the late afternoon. My mom usually wants to be left alone to work on her art projects or read one of her books on Mother's Day too. It's not that they don't want to spend the day with us. They just like to be able to focus on their hobbies without having to worry about household or family duties for a few hours. It's normal in my family for my mom and dad to give each other breaks or a day off sometimes. Another thing is, my dad didn't invite Mason to work on the car with him. He did tell Mason a while back that if the garage door is open, then Mason is free to walk in and chat. That's what Mason usually does. My dad doesn't talk to him outside of when Mason comes over by himself or with his aunt and uncle. I don't think my dad even has Mason's number. They're not really close, they just both like cars. I know most people told me to tell my mom or my dad or both about what I heard. I was kind of hoping the tension would go away and just be forgotten, which I know is dumb and not realistic, but I really didn't want to have that awkward conversation, so I just kept quiet. Things got really bad today. My sister and I were still mostly ignoring our dad. My mom kept asking us a bunch of questions and guessing reasons why we were mad. I thought she gave up, but earlier today, she said we were going to have a family game night, which we never really do. I really didn't feel like doing that, but I was going to sit there and just deal with it. However, my sister told my mom we wouldn't be joining if dad was there. My mom asked why, but my sister just said he knows what he did. So my mom went to talk to our dad, and like an hour later, she made us all sit down in the living room to talk. My dad was mad now. He told us that we needed to say whatever was on our minds because now our mom was asking if we caught him cheating on her or something. She was running out of theories for why we were mad. To be fair, she guessed it right on the second day, asking if he had said something to make me mad or upset, but I lied and said no at the time. She said she knew it had something to do with me because I was mad at him first. So I finally told her what I overheard my dad say. My mom was shocked, and my dad immediately denied it, which really sucked. Because if he thought it and said it out loud, he could at least also have the balls to admit it, but he didn't. He kept saying he didn't say that, but I told him I know what I heard. He tried to lie and say that what he said was that Mason's dad would be proud of him, and that if Mason was his son, he'd be proud of the kind of person he was. That's a lie. He didn't say that. My sister got mad and told him to stop gaslighting me. Then they argued for a couple of minutes until my mom stopped them. My mom asked me if I was sure of what I heard, and I said yes. I told her exactly what he said to Mason. Your dad would be proud of you. I know I would be. You're exactly the kind of son I wanted to have. I know that because I keep hearing my dad's voice saying it over and over in my head. I've been hearing it whenever I look at him since that day. My mom turned to my dad and started yelling at him for saying that. So my dad finally admitted it but said that I misunderstood him. He says he was just trying to make Mason feel better because Mason was sad and kept talking about his dad, who passed away, because it was Father's Day. My dad wasn't trying to put me down or say I was a disappointment to him. He said he was sorry and tried to hug me, but I was honestly mad that he denied it at first, so I didn't let him. My mom didn't accept his reasoning either. She said that Mason, his aunt, and uncle aren't invited anymore, and that we're just going to be neighbors from now on, and that's it. I feel bad because they didn't do anything wrong. But my mom kept going and telling my dad that he needs to stop spending so much time on his stupid car and start paying more attention to his family. He really doesn't spend a lot of time on it, maybe like 2 days out of the month for 3 to 4 hours. I think she was just really mad at him, which is what I was worried about. So my dad shouted that he'll just get rid of the car then since everyone suddenly has a problem with his hobby. He left for my uncle's house after that, and I don't think he's coming back tonight. I feel really bad. I should have just let it go. I really want to, but I can't. If he hadn't tried to lie and had just said sorry, maybe I would have accepted his apology, and this would be done. I'm not even really mad anymore. I just feel like a failure. I wish I could have just been more into cars. Then this whole thing would have never happened. Sorry it's not a happy update, but a lot of people were asking for one. I hope he comes back home soon.